Hi, so in this video I want to talk about loneliness and maybe get some thoughts on this because it's something that I was kind of thinking about. I was kind of hearing about it. I was just thinking about it a little bit, so hopefully I can get some thoughts on this. So um, I feel uh, with loneliness, it's it can be such a it can feel so terrible, but um, and yeah, it's just a terrible feeling to feel lonely, but I feel also that um, a person that loves themselves and loves who they are and loves everything about themselves, such um, a person should try to enjoy their own company, even in loneliness. Um, yeah, appreciate yourself and who you are and your own company and all your thoughts. In your mind, you are free with your own thoughts. You are free to um, think and create so many ideas and all these things, and to at least for me, when I feel lonely, these things, I mean, it doesn't, loneliness, it wouldn't completely put away the loneliness, but at least it can make you feel a bit less lonely, and yeah, um, so to enjoy your own company. But I guess another thing about this is um, a person might forget what kind of a great person they are if that they spend too much time with loneliness to another person, to one beautiful person, another beautiful person. When you see them, you know how beautiful they are, but if they've been lonely for too long, they might forget this. And it's just something I wanted to say, that is that if you see and if you come across a lonely person who has kind of forgotten how beautiful they are, I think you should tell them, you should let them know, because it can feel so much better for a beautiful person just to hear it from someone else who's been lonely for so long. Just to hear it from someone else might really make them feel good about themselves and remind them of how great they are and all the great things about them and what things make them such a beautiful person. So, and yeah, and I think you can also do this with yourself in a way that um, if a person feels bad, if a person feels like down on a certain day, and just, you can have those days where it's just, and this can happen to a really beautiful person, might just feel like, okay, like completely forget about all the great things. And so in that kind of place, this person can remind themselves, okay, like I have all of these qualities, and that's what makes me a good person. And yeah, a good person deserves to have other good, beautiful people in their life. And with time, hopefully these great people will come into this person's life. And yeah, so those are just some thoughts, but I feel the feeling of loneliness, it's a really terrible feeling though, and I've felt it myself, and I think most people will feel it. um, yeah. Yeah. So despite how it might appear, I think a lot of people who don't appear lonely, I often feel, I don't know, but I often feel like there is a lot of loneliness in them. And there are certain times when it can really, because what I've seen a couple of times is you would see this really beautiful person and great and intelligent and with all great personality, and you would think that such a person would have, such a person wouldn't feel lonely, and then you like see them and you kind of, it's almost shocking to see sometimes. Um, it, ki- it it kind of shows that how lonely that person feels, and it is so crushing when, like, I noticed it myself about someone else that I wouldn't think would be lonely, but it's just such a terrible feeling. It's yeah, it kind of breaks your heart to see such a beautiful person feel lonely. So yeah, so it's just something that I kind of wanted to say, is to tell people when you see beautiful people around you and you feel that they might be lonely, remind them of how great they are, and also yourself if you feel lonely. And hopefully, it's a terrible feeling that uh, it's just bad, but at least we can do something about it and use it with our own our own selves, with introspection, with spending time with ourselves, and yeah, um, feeling good about ourselves, hopefully, if it is possible. And even if if sometime you don't feel like loving yourself, you should, yeah, you should you should love yourself. And yeah, so yeah, those are just a few thoughts on this. And yeah, if you have any of your own thoughts on this, on loneliness, and yeah, any thoughts on loneliness and what kind of mm, experiences, or to how to think about it, yeah, let me know about your own thoughts on this. So I think that's where I'm going to end this video. Maybe I'll talk another time a little bit more about this. And yeah, so yeah, I think I'm going to end this video by first of all saying that if you feel lonely right now, maybe while watching this video, like, I hope you find beautiful people in your life that make you feel appreciated, that make you feel more human, that make you feel alive, and you just love being in their company and have beautiful moments together. And I hope you find all of these people that make you feel that way. And yeah, yeah, and to remember yourself, that you are a beautiful person. And yeah, so with that, I'm going to end this video. Hopefully this will have been, I don't know, somewhat, if it, yeah, somewhat interesting, yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video, and I'll see you in the next video.